So today we're gonna clear this area right by the barn. I'm gonna build a woodshed right here, probably about 12 feet deep and 18 feet wide is what I'm thinking. And the reason we chose this spot was because we already have our view blocked by the barn, so adding another building right here isn't going to take away from the view. So if we set it over here in the woods, then of course we would be looking at the woodshed there and not woods. And I'm going to be building this woodshed out of these tamarack logs that I have cut a year ago. We're going to set posts and build it all out of the trees. At least that's the plan. So anyway, today we're going to clear out this little area. There's two dead maples in the back and two bad maples that are got bad spots in them up here, so it's not a big deal cutting these down. We'll use it for the firewood to fill the woodshed once we build it. And I also have to cut this big popple, which is right next to the barn, and it's leaning toward the yard here. And those are notorious for breaking during storms and stuff, so to alleviate that problem, we got to cut that tree down anyway. So that's what we're doing right now. We got one maple already cut, and I got 3 chains on it to get it out of the swamp so we can use it for firewood instead of just leaving it in there to rot. And I'm going to pull it out with the tractor. I'm gonna pull use the Ford now. It's more fun to use the old tractor sometimes. We made this implement that we put a carry-all on this frame. I had a guy weld this up, and I had him put a link here so I can choker logs to it. That's going to be falling down.
That's the plan anyways.
gonna try to cut this maple tree and drop it right in that spot there. That way I can just limb it up and leave the limbs in the swamp here, because I want to try to save this oak tree, I think, instead of dropping it in the yard. Plus it'll be less work, hopefully, by just limbing it and leaving it lay, as long as those limbs get as far as I think they're going to. So most of the branches are on this side, but I think if I wedge it, it'll go that way. We'll see.
Voila.
Perfect.
One thing you failed to mention was how warm it is today.
Oh yeah, it's 90. It's a good time.
Out in long sleeve pants and shirts.
So, we got that one down. Now we just have to get this giant popple down, which is leaning right where we need it to in the yard here. So we're gonna cut this big popple. I wanna see how good I am. I'm gonna put this wedge where I think it's gonna land. I'll set that right there, see if I can hit it.
That came down quick. These puppies think, huh? And I believe he nailed his wedge. Right in there.
So it's super sketchy cutting these popple trees down because they're such a weak tree. And it seems like once they grow this size, a lot of times I see that they start dying or whatever. And this one was no different. When I was cutting into it, you can't even tell that this has any bad spots, but the middle is all rotted out. I mean, there's the middle. There was no holding wood at all. So when I was cutting and I was about to put my wedge in, to wedge and make sure it goes the right way, it started cracking in the middle. You can see right here, this big crack. Well, what I didn't want to do was stop and run away and freak out. So I kept cutting to release the tree faster, so it goes in the direction I want, and didn't do it like a barber chair.
I almost wanted to twist.
Yeah, or do crazy stuff. You got to keep cutting to weaken the tree more. Even though it was starting to crack and stuff, it was kind of dangerous, and I didn't want it to break my building. But thank God everything went.
And the oak still is okay.
That's why you can't just be tackling big trees unless you cut a bunch of trees before you start tackling big trees. Not that I'm an expert or whatever, but at least I've cut a ton of trees down. And you just have to keep your head about you and not freak out. Always go 45-degree away from the tree or whatever. But anyway, thank God it went down and didn't smash the building. Did you look at where it landed?
Mm-hmm.
Was it good?
Nailed it.
Nailed it. So this is what we got done today. We've been at it for about 4 or 5 hours. Like I said, it's like 90-degree heat today, or it's not like it is 90s. So we got a clearing here for the woodshed. This tree here, I think I'm gonna use, leave that stump there, and that'll be a splitting stump. So we'll get these rocks, a couple rocks out of here, and then I'll try to take these higher spots there and there and level this out a little bit and see how that looks when I'm done. So our woodshed will sit right there, and then we got a bunch of firewood out of it. I set it here. We don't have a ton of spots for everything, so I put a bunch of firewood there because I wanted to keep it close, because we're going to be filling our woodshed with that wood, so might as well not take it too far. If anybody's wondering what that contraption is, our dog had ACL surgery, so he's pretty much down. He can't run around or after anything for the next almost 3 months, so he gets bored sitting in the cabin or the house all the time, so we bought that so he can hang out with us and outside. So yeah, I think it looks good. The only tree I gotta cut is this maple. I'll do that maybe tomorrow. It looks like it's leaning, the branches are leaning toward the barn, so I'll have to put maybe a rope on that, and my wife will have to run the tractor and put some tension on it, pull that down so it doesn't hit the barn. And these trees will fill in, so we'll still have shade in the yard. I don't feel like this is going to cause too much of a problem, and it'd be real sunny because it's nice to have the shade during the day. So all those trees will fill in, and this oak tree will hopefully start growing straight and fill in too. Stay tuned for the next couple videos where I build this woodshed out of tamarack logs and stuff. We'll be doing that this year. I should be able to get that done before fall.